Sam is a legal disruptor and a law firm owner of 6 law firms, but he's more interested in disrupting the legal market. He built and scaled 3 of his own law firms to multi-million dollars from scratch before he turned 33. One of his law firms is operating at $20 to $30 million level. However, he spends most of his time helping lawyers around the world create their own automated, scalable law firm using an online program called My Legal Academy. He shares the real strategies he uses to run and scale his 6 firms using top paid ad source funnels, automation, AI, ChatGPT, virtual assistants, and more. With that, Sam, take it away.
What an amazing intro. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. And it's actually my second time. Thank you for inviting me back, Karen. So today's agenda is to kind of expose you to what's possible, but more importantly, it's the application of AI and ChatGPT to help us run our law firms in a lot more efficient way. This is revolutionary, to say the least. It's an understatement. And the more you understand and the more you explore, the more you realize like that the jig is up, essentially. And it's very important for all of us as lawyers to really understand what these things are, what they're capable of, and more importantly, how we can take advantage of it so that we can actually ride the wave instead of being wiped away by the wave. So first, I put the link in the chat for this. I'll put the link in the chat again. And if you guys are watching the recording of this later, it'll be updated so you guys can get this. ChatGPT for Lawyers. Take a look. Has a table of contents. Essentially has if you get through this or you use as a resource, you'll be ahead of 98% of lawyers when it comes to AI and ChatGPT. Just to give a little preview of what's to come today, I'll be showing you exactly how to write effective prompts, which is key. I'll share with you the prompt of all prompts. A lot of times I feel like there's a list of different prompts that in different contexts that you can use, but a lot of times it could be hard to come up with like how do I write a prompt to AI or ChatGPT? Well, what I did was I gave you right here, this bolded thing is the prompt of all prompts. If you just put this into ChatGPT, it will help you come up with the prompts to put it back into ChatGPT, which I'll show an example of that in a second. Also, use cases of it for typical lawyers, drafting contracts, reviewing contracts, marketing, social media, writing content, YouTube, productivity, health, entertainment. It's all there for you. We won't be, I won't be going too much into depth into these, but that's there for you as a resource. Something really, really cool that nobody really shares about is how to create AI generated images. I'll show you ones that I've created and how you can use it also in your own marketing. Also, best AI tools specifically for lawyers. So when it comes to legal research, discoveries, demand letters, a lot of these startups have popped up in the last couple of months. A lot of these are kind of like building it out as we speak, but it's important to know which ones they are. Click on them, join their wait list so that as soon as they release it, you're able to kind of be ahead of the market. And then along with that, a list of other AI tools. There's a lot broken down to different categories. And even if you want even more, there's another 100 more. I kind of want this to be a resource, so you don't necessarily have to install or use any of these, not at all. And
I hope you're going to demonstrate some of them, like the Mid-Journey and Runway. Those are amazing.
Yeah, we'll be demonstrating the big ones. So I just wanted to share that with you. So if you don't have it, go into the chat and grab it. Before we get started, Karen shared a little bio, but let me give my own little bio. I currently own and run 6 law firms. They're all active right now. They're all running. They're all automated. That's how I'm able to spend most of my time doing this, kind of sharing what I'm doing behind the scenes of how I'm able to automate and scale up these law firms. As I shared, 3 of them are at this point multiple 7 and 8 figures, doing business law, tax IDs, lemon law, employment law, and class actions. So far, I've generated over 24,000 legal clients online. I have 3,600 reviews from my first law firm. At this point, I also generate about 20,000 to 25,000 legal leads a month, which exposes me to a lot of experience about how to not just generate leads, but how to get leads signed up for my law firms. Also, inside my program, been able to not only do it for myself, but also pass it on to other lawyers, for other lawyers to be able to apply the same concepts for their own law firms. Be able to collect at this point over 200 lawyer case studies and testimonials. And everything that I do is is I share basically what I do. There's nothing theoretical. It's all things that I'm currently doing for my own law firms. And I'm the guinea pig. Once I do it, once I see results, then I go and share it a couple of weeks later, a couple of months later. So that's about me. So I have a lot to share with you. So just make sure to, again, take full advantage of this. So let's start off with, I think, the most important part, which is if we go to page, what page are we on this? This is page 4.
And Sam, you want this to be interactive, right? You want people to put questions in the chat box?
Yeah, please. Yeah, please. I encourage it. So as things come up, as your mind, I'm exposing you to all these new things. So please bring it up. I've already probably heard most of these questions and I'll be able to kind of guide you. So please ask away in the chat or in the Q&A section. So first of all, if you haven't already, make sure that you have at least registered for a ChatGPT account. I put the link in the chat in there for you. If you haven't signed up for it, it'll tell you to verify your email. Simple, you go to your email box and you make sure you verify it. And once you do, then you'll get access to essentially ChatGPT, which looks like this. And then ChatGPT also has a pro account. Most people, I don't think, need pro account at this point. I do, which kind of enables me to get access to ChatGPT 4, which is a kind of like a better version of ChatGPT. So that is kind of how to get access. A lot of people don't even know how to get there. So that's the way to do it. So let's get to how to write effective prompts. So the rule of thumb when it comes to getting the most out of ChatGPT and AI is that it's all dependent on how you ask ChatGPT. Okay. And I've seen this and I went through this myself when I would, whenever you start off using this, you start off with like a sentence and then you're like, it's a pretty weak answer, or the answer is kind of so generic and vague. Instead, what I learned from experience is that you need to provide ChatGPT 2 things. It's like a 2 rule of thumbs. Well, first, let's get the main rule of thumb out of the way, is that the answer you get from ChatGPT is only as good as your prompt, okay? So you're your own variable in getting the answer that you need. So have that in mind. So how do we write the best prompt? 2 parts. One is we need to provide context, and we'll explain what that means in a second. And we need to make sure that it's specific as possible. So first of all, what is context? Context is just giving it information, as much information as you already have. So let's just say you're trying to come up with something, but you probably already know some stuff about this. And the more information that you can give ChatGPT, more likely that it's able to get into your head and give you a better answer. So provide information you already know, whatever that is, the more the merrier, in order for the AI to understand what you want out of it. Okay, so more information, better.
But I want to jump in and say you don't want to give confidential information like the name of your client. Do you agree?
No. You do not.
More general.
Whatever you put in there, it's kind of like Google. It knows what you're putting in there, so they could use the data against you down the line. But keep it without any confidential information. The second part is you want to make it specific. Make the prompt more specific to guide the AI towards the desired response. Vague prompts may lead to irrelevant or generic answers or even wrong answers. So get it as specific as possible. Specific words, specific use cases, whatever specific means to you. Okay, so basically the more the merrier basically is the way to go. The more context and more specific your prompt, the better response you will get from AI.
Wait, so I want to jump in again and say, you just said answers could be wrong. So that's one of the limitations that they warn you about when you sign up.
Correct. And that usually comes from, again, giving it kind of like a vague prompt. But the more specific you give it, the more likely it is that for it to be correct information. There's a thing called hallucination, which is basically makes up stuff and it makes it seem like it's real. And with this, it's not like a foolproof. It's not like I depend on this. No, it gets me 80% of the way there. It's kind of like an idea generator, like content generator, so that I could go in and revise it and put into however way I like it. So let me give you an example. Just this week, we're planning on launching a live event in Los Angeles for our little community for lawyers. So the context and the specific details that I gave to it to give me the best, chance of giving me exactly what I want, which is basically help me plan this out, was this. And let me share with you, and you'll to learn from this. So the first part is I tell it what it's good at. So you're a world-class marketing expert. Okay. So that means for us, whatever we're trying to ask, tell it what it's an expert in. That way it's giving it context. So you're a world-class lawyer, immigration lawyer in New York who knows a lot about EV5. Okay, that's context. Now you're telling it that's your expertise. And now it's AI, it's going to go and hone in on that expertise in that niche. So a world-class market expert for a coaching program for lawyers. We have a community of lawyers who joined our program called My Legal Academy. This is all context. We're planning on hosting a live event in person called MLA Live, where attendees will learn to leverage the tools, tactics, and technology of tomorrow. MLA Live will be hosted by Sam Mollaei at Beverly Wilshire. Create a save the date invitation. Okay. If it was 4 months ago, if I didn't know about ChatGPT, I'll be like, oh, create a save the date invitation for a lawyer coaching event. Instead, when I give it this, the result of that is, let me actually just give you kind of a short, I think it's internal, but I think it's a good learning lesson about what could come out of it. And let me just quickly bring it up. It was able to help me not only come up with details about the program, the payment options, presentation slides, questions that I might have about the participants might have about this program, deliverables that I might need to be able to promote this, the sales logistics, how do we onboard the new clients to this, the support that we need to be able to do the live event. But it all started off with essentially me giving a context that this is what you're planning on doing. And then once I got this, I was able to get that information and then continuously continue the conversation. Like, okay, now give me the presentation that I need to create. Okay, now how about what support do I need to be able to do to be able to host this live event? So, but it all starts off again with the rule of thumb is provide context and be specific as possible. Okay, so is everybody clear on this? Let me know in the chat if it's been, give me a yes if that's clear. Context and specific. I have a rule of thumb. If you do that, you'll be, again, ahead of 80%. And I want to hear from you guys in the chat before I move on, because I want to make sure that you guys are engaging with me. It's not just one-sided. And I see at least 66 of you guys in here. So yeah, let me know in the chat. Go in the chat right now. Just say yes or good so far. Good. Richard says clear. Good, Christine. Yes. Good, Peter. Good, Kenneth. Are you checking out the Q&A too? No, I will now. Yeah, ChatGPT says this is Sam Mollaei is an Iranian-born judoka who gained international recognition of his achievements in sports. That's probably another Sam Mollaei, because I know there is another judo. ChatGPT specifically only has information up until September 2021. But I have a feeling if you ask Google Bard, which is basically ChatGPT's competitor, it might have better, more relevant information. There was also a question about how much of the output is regurgitated or plagiarized content from other people. Good question. So ChatGPT isn't coming up with any new information. It's all based on information that's already out there. So ChatGPT's company called OpenAI went in the past couple of years, has been scraping information from as many public places as possible. And that's basically the information that they use to be able to get this. Ellen says, can you run the prompt so they can, so that, yeah, let me show that to you.
Someone would like to see the actual save the date invitation.
Yeah, let's go for it. Watch. So, and again, a lot of it is based on the context that I gave it. So, dear recipient, we are thrilled to announce the exclusive event for our distinguished My Legal Academy MLA community, MLA Live 2023. MLA Live is more than a convention. It's a convergence of cutting-edge tools, tactics, and technology designed to advance your legal practice into tomorrow. Join us for a transformative event at this place on this date. Your host is me, and this is completely generated new from the context that I gave it. Save the date. All the information is going to come. See you in Beverly Hills. Signature. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. What are the deliverables I should prepare for this event? And the power also is not just a one-sided, let me just give it to me. No, it's from the conversation that really where it shines, because now this is like not only this answer that he gave me, now this answer that he gave me basically is used as the data to further give it more context to our conversation. So again, the more context that it has, the better the prompt, the better the response. Well, now it has that data for it to give me better information. Well, as you know, these are deliverables. And now when I ask the next question, it knows that these are deliverables and these are things that I should be mindful of. And again, it gives me a better next response because I already asked these two questions. Okay, great. How can I, what should be the price? And how should I invite and market it to lawyers? And yeah, it's going to basically give that to me in clarity. And again, it's 80% of the way there of like giving me kind of like what I need for me to kind of like think about, oh, do I want to offer early bird? Do I want to do group discounts? Okay, maybe I don't want to do a tiered pricing, so forget that. So I'm not going to really take it, just by, face value, but pretty much I would say like 80-90% of it is there. And the funny part is I was going to hire like a marketing manager, somebody even up to like 150K a month, 150K salary to be able to help me with this. And we're actually going to hire like a contractor to help us also with this. And I'm like, guys, let me just hold up. Let me just see if I can just use ChatGPT to help me with this. And within 15 minutes, I was able to put that whole document that I shared with you together. I'm like, okay, you know what? We're okay. We don't really need it. We don't need to hire somebody for this. So yeah. So let's move forward because I do have a lot to share with you. So
Very impressive, by the way. Very impressive.
So next is a lot of times people don't know, okay, what should I ask? What should I ask? Well, the prompt of all prompts will solve that problem. So here it is. And then I'll do it live as well. I want you to become my prompt creator. So again, I'm telling it what I want it to be. Your goal is to help me craft the best possible prompt for my needs. The prompts will be used by you, ChatGPT, and I want you to follow the following process. Okay. Your first response will be to ask me what the prompt should be about. I will provide my answer, but we will need to improve it through continual iterations by going through the next steps. Based on my input, you will generate 3 sections, broken down to pretty much like, give me the prompt that you have so far, give me suggestions on how this prompt could be better, and then like further questions to make this prompt even better and better. So basically we're using ChatGPT to come up with a prompt that we can give it back to ChatGPT to basically give us what we want, essentially. So, but the best is just to see this happen live. So let's go take this to ChatGPT, start a new conversation. Just going to copy and paste that in. And again, you guys already have access to this. All you have to do is just copy and paste this exact thing into ChatGPT and you'll be able to use it in the same exact way. So I put that in and it said, sure, I'll be happy to help you craft the best possible prompt. Let's get started. What would you like the prompt to be about? Please provide your answer and we'll begin with the iterative process from there. Okay, this is where I want it to be. Everybody kind of joining in. Somebody give me one thing that you would like ChatGPT to create a prompt for. So whatever that is, that could be when it comes to helping you with marketing or generating clients for a specific niche.
Yeah. Can I jump in? I'll jump in.
Yeah, please.
So let's say I want to be the back office for the back tax law firm for accounting firms. So let's say an accounting firm, people receive notices on a regular basis. They owe money, they owe taxes. And I want them to be able to, the accountant to be able to consult with me to help their clients come up with how to deal with the IRS in New York State. And so I want to create a program that markets to accountants and financial advisors that program.
Create a program. So give me that to me. Create a program for
to be the back office tax department of an accounting firm or financial advisor. How's that?
Of a financial
advisor or a CPA or tax preparer, right? All these H&R blocks, you know, what happens when they close on April 15th and the clients get a notice on April 16th, and who's going to help respond to those notices?
Okay, let's see. Pretty vague. I would have probably made it a little bit more specific, but it's good enough. That's the whole point of this. So what it did was it already gave me the prompt so far, which is much better than what we started off with. And it also gave me suggestions on how to make this prompt better. But I think the important part is these questions. So questions for you, Karen. Could you provide more details about the specific tasks and responsibilities of the back office tax department in this context?
Yeah, so I guess we'll review notices, we'll advise the accountant or financial advisor on their options to proceed in paying the government what is owed.
Okay. Number 2 question, again, the more the merrier. Are there any specific tax related challenges or issues that you'd like the program to address?
Yeah, so people might want an offer in compromise, they might want an installment agreement, they might want a penalty abatement. Or they may be audited. And they have to respond to IRS and New York State tax notices.
Good. Next question. Again, the more we don't have to answer all the single questions, but it would be better. So let's do it. Do you have any preference or requirements regarding the programming language, platforms, or tools to be used in developing the program? Any particular tools?
No.
Okay. Nope. Good enough. How would you like the program to assist with managing client information and organizing tax documents efficiently?
I don't understand the question.
What are the benefits of using your program?
Oh, we're experienced tax attorneys in this area, and everyone thinks they know the rules, but we handle it on a day-to-day basis. So people know the surface, but we know the details.
Good. Great. I'm just gonna add saver experience. Good. And last question is, are there any specific, this is being, okay, good. And I can't see that, but it's all good.
Oh, wait, there it is. And specific compliance rules. There are no specific compliance rules.
All good, all good. And now give me more suggestions, but again, more important, now based on what you gave me last thing, now it's even giving me more specific questions about that. But let's start off there, and we could keep going on and just make it even crazier and crazier and crazier. And if there was, Karen, if this was something that I would actually go literally try to build a program, I would go as far as it allows me, which is forever, but at least for like
Absolutely.
a good 5 minutes more. But
thank you. This was
now,
great.
Yeah, but now we have this revised prompt. This is basically what we want. So instead of, let's just say what we started off with, which was kind of this, okay, pretty vague. But now we have this: develop a program to support the back office tax department of the experienced tax attorneys working with financial advisors, CPAs, or tax preparers. The program should assist in reviewing tax notices, advising on appropriate courses of action, and facilitating payment to the government of owed amounts. Additionally, explore strategies for responding to tax notices and managing audits effectively. Is that pretty spot on?
Wow, that's
Okay,
great.
now here's, let's see. Well, you know what? So now this is like still in that conversation of, it thinks I still want a better prompt, which it's going to ask me more questions, but instead I'm going to start a new conversation. I'm just going to plainly, coldly kind of say, giving this. And now there we go. Kind of giving a breakdown of the particular kind of services. You know, how can I package this up into one comprehensive service? Then I can offer flat rate on a retainer basis. And how can I market this to tax or to whatever,
To accountants.
to accountants in New York?
I hope you'll send me this when we get off. I love this.
No problem. The best is, again, it's just understanding, you know, playing around with it and really using it. There we go. So define your service offerings, which again, you could get really granular. Okay, tell me what are the service offerings that I should exactly provide in there. Set a flat rate retainer pricing. Okay, great. Give me a flat rate retainer service agreement that I need. Create a professional website. Okay, for this website, what should my homepage include? We'll give you that. Target accountants in New York. Okay, how can I target accountants in New York if you're a marketing expert? Create content marketing. Okay, what are the top 10 topics that I could make videos on? Partner with influencers, create a referral program, do direct outreach, collect client testimonials, and continues to refine this. This is like everything. Again,
Everything. Amazing.
Yeah, this is everything. Just a starting point. Again, you take this, you have your business plan, essentially. Business plan, Now you could also give it more context. Well, right now I have somebody on my team who's an implementer. I have somebody who's a sales, who are, for these two roles, what are their first 10 things they need to do in the next 2 months for us to get us there. Yeah, you guys get the idea of like what is potentially possible. Wendy asks, is ChatGPT free? Yeah, it is free. It's completely free until if you decide to upgrade to Pro account, and the Pro account is $20 a month. But once you start using it, I really recommend either upgrading or, yeah, it's well worth. Even if it's honestly it was $500 a month, I would pay for it all day as long as you actually using it. The ROI is there. Kelly says, can you use the program to organize the client files without violating attorney-client privilege? So it doesn't. This ChatGPT is just one application of AI. There could be potential programs that are right now being built that could potentially be those use cases that you mentioned, like organizing client files. Yeah, potentially there could be somebody go and create an AI to automatically go take all your files, scan it, and put it in the correct client files and cut it how you want. So those are kind of like the different applications of it. And then if that's the case, then it just depends on the terms of service of that particular application to see if it violates any attorney-client privilege or not. So that's that. So along with that, again, there are a lot of different other ways. Drafting any contracts, and I'm sorry, contract lawyers, you'll be kind of driven out by this, especially for people that know how to use it effectively, or you can actually use it to your advantage. Drafting, or if obviously we're all business owners. For any point from now on, you need a contract, just go in there, use the context and the prompts that are here to do that. Reviewing a contract anytime before you review a contract, you'll kind of use that. Marketing, social media, writing blog articles, doing YouTube marketing, a lot of stuff when it comes to coming up with topics, coming up with your bullet points for your videos, coming up with actual video scripts for YouTube videos, creating titles, writing the descriptions, coming up with the tags for YouTube videos, everything you could possibly think about. Anything written, essentially, could be done. And then productivity. A lot of times I use this like kind of to help me give me ideas about how I could be particularly more productive in specific parts of my day. Here's some ideas in here for you, whatever that is. And then also health. A lot of people kind of need guidance. Well, I would like to lose 15 pounds. I'm this weight. I would like to lose this much pounds. And I have allergies to these particular things. And I love these types of foods. Please create me a diet plan for the next 10 days so I could lose this many pounds. It has all that for you. Exercise plan, and everything you could possibly think about. Entertainment also, which is pretty cool. So a lot of different ways. Again, I don't want to get into it. I want to kind of show you more cool stuff that's all there for you. So let's go to Ellen asked, actually, before we get to the next thing, Ellen asked a good question. Assuming that you used it, what are your thoughts on Google's Bard's AI as compared to ChatGPT? Good question. And here's Bard. So here it is. So OpenAI owns ChatGPT and Google owns Bard. They're kind of essentially the biggest competitors in AI. ChatGPT kind of got an early start, which is huge when it comes to AI. Every day is essentially a big advantage. The sooner that you have more data that you have, then the technology just gets better and better. So ChatGPT is better at this point. However, me being in tech and knowing how these things work, all of this technology is based on essentially the data that it has. And which company has more data than anyone else? That's Google. So even though Google is quote unquote behind right now, I could definitely imagine the next couple of months and towards the end of the year and potentially pretty much forever, Google will most likely be the more robust AI tool. But for now, either or. If you have a regular Gmail account, if you go to bard.google.com, I'll put the link in the chat. You'll also be able to get access to Bard. If you're on Google Workspace, let's just say if you set up your domain for you to send emails from your own domain, some of us have Google Workspace. You have to go into Google Workspace and turn it on. Which, if anybody needs to know how to do that, I can share that with you later. But that's how you're able to get access to Bard. The good part about Bard is that it's not limited to the data up until September 2021. So Bard actually uses current data. So I could potentially ask, you know, what are the best books for lawyers in 2023? And it gives me data that's actually up to date, versus ChatGPT would not be able to answer that for me. So we'll see. There we go. So they already gave me that for 2023, but ChatGPT, it's like, well, I only have information up until September 2021. So I don't have any specific books for 2023, but here's still what I recommend. So even though these particular ones, I don't know if it's how it's related to law, but so yeah, that's the limitation of it. So I would say both are good as long as you use one and overthinking it. And I think eventually, Google's will probably end up being better.
And there's a question in the Q&A box. Did you discuss the ethical issues?
Ethical ramifications, I do not know. Things top of mind, as Karen mentioned, don't provide any, confidential information that you don't feel comfortable being shared with a company. But nothing particular that comes to mind. It's so new and so fresh that I think everybody's trying to figure out. Even the ethics lawyer are probably trying to figure it out. So yeah, I'm not too concerned at this point. As long as you probably don't give it confidential information, then you should be relatively okay.
Is it considered plagiarism? Does anyone own the intellectual property?
Nobody owns it. So the content you can use, but just know that it's not necessarily unique content. So someone else, and it's not like if two people put in the same prompt, it doesn't necessarily give you the same exact answers either, because it could potentially, it could have its own data based on your past data that you used it with. It could also have its own algorithm where it could give you a little slightly different answer, but sometimes it could also be similar answers. So yes, there could sometimes be instances where it's not unique content. So that's usually relevant for when if you use it for content and like blog articles and SEO, things like that. But there's ways around it. There's services that could kind of help you get around it. But yeah, nothing too concerning or things that really have stood out in my mind about ethical considerations. But yeah. All right, so let's go to a fun one, which is not that I will show or talk about this, but I can show it to you today, is how to create AI generated images. Okay, the most popular tool to do this, and I'll show you examples in a second, is a tool called Midjourney. That's the most popular one. However, the interface of how to actually get this made is very complex and confusing. I had to teach myself, and I could do it, but most people, I would say, probably don't need to get that fancy. Instead, good news is Canva, which is probably one of the most popular kind of creative video image creators online, which a lot of people use. They recently released this thing called text to image feature, which makes it super easy. And I'll show a demo in a second, but let me first show you what is possible. So let me quickly just bring about a couple of examples. So for My Legal Academy, one of the things I do in order for us to get new members to join our program is I run ads on Facebook and Instagram. And, the ads typically, good marketing is to call out the problem that our prospects have. Well, or our ideal clients that join our program are lawyers who are kind of burnt out, overwhelmed, lawyers who don't really have a handle on everything or kind of doing everything yourself. So I started coming up with these scenarios of lawyers who are kind of in those situations. Obviously, it's an exaggeration of this expression of how lawyers feel, but it's a pretty interesting kind of thing that I could come up with, like just a specific prompt that I could say, a burnt out lawyer who's sitting behind a desk with a lot of paper on her desk, and there's things around her that are on fire, which is kind of like the idea, or I guess the little illustration of how lawyers could feel. Well, here's some images that he came up with. These are lawyers behind the desk with kind of those kind of descriptions. Okay, well, that was cool behind the desk. How about in court? Kind of stressed out, overwhelmed kind of lawyers. There's some of that. Then it started generating me a couple of these. Then it got a little gory. This one got really gory. So I said, okay, no blood. So it gave me a little bit more professional kind of. Again, these are all completely unique. These are all literally made up. This is pretty stoic. I'm like, this is pretty cool. And then someone on our team is like, oh, I know one. Lawyers that have a lot of people, a lot of paper on their desk, and they're just stressed out, burnt out. Okay, let's put that together. Oh, another one someone on our team gave is, well, a lawyer who has their family in the background. While around them it's like chaotic and they feel stressed out. Okay, well, here's an interesting representation of that. Or some lawyers working on the beach. Okay, a lawyer on the beach kind of idea. And so on and so on. I've also done it for different practice types. I do lemon law. So like one interesting one was specific things when it comes to like lemon law, which is pretty funny and random. Imagine kind of like, this is one of my highest converting ads right now, which is kind of someone sitting in front of a yellow Chevy Silverado with surrounded by lemons. Obviously, it's not a real image, but it's something that's so out there that really stands out, and it actually does really well when it comes to marketing. So yeah.
So someone asked whether these are protected images.
There are not protected images, but you can use them for business and personal use, but they're not protected unless if you probably take these and go copyright or whatever. But they're not really protected. Yeah, so those are the things. And then let me just answer a couple of questions before. Actually, no, let me show you the what I shared with you, which is Canva. So again, that was done with Midjourney. But if I show you how that's done, you're probably going to get confused, and I don't want to get there. Instead, let's use the easy way of getting this done, which is basically it's done with Canva's text to image feature. So if you go to Canva, a lot of people that do social media have access to Canva and use Canva. And we go click on create a design, and I just say I want an Instagram post. And then if I go to apps on the left side, I search for text to image. I'll find this app called text to image right here. And then right here, I'll be able to write a description. So somebody give me a description of something they would like to see. If not, I'll have Karen do it. But ideally, I would like someone for you guys to engage with me. Give me one. Peace in Ukraine. Something more specific. Book
Okay,
cover
let's say
alone.
I'm being honored. I want I don't know, an invitation. I'm being honored for something. I'm getting an award. You know, something like that.
So give me more description. What kind of person? Like person receiving an award.
Right.
Where?
Oh, you make it up.
At a graduation ceremony.
Perfect.
Holding a balloon. Okay. And what it does is it doesn't just give me one variation. It gives me usually 4. So not exactly holding a balloon, but at least there's some blues around. But we got some other ones. Oh, there we go. Here's a good one. That is actually pretty spot on. Graduation holding a balloon, even though it's not thing it, but pretty close. And again, this is Canva's version, but if I took this to the Midjourney, it will definitely give me that and some, and it will be a lot more detailed and a lot better, but good enough. So the way to use this is kind of essentially for social marketing posts, for ads, which is what I use it for, which is doing well, kind of to stand out and kind of have these images and things that really is not really real. So it really exaggerates the point that I'm really trying to make.
Someone's asking if these are actual people.
Potentially, yeah. Or it mixes images to potentially create new variations. So it's not necessarily exact. And again, the legal and how it's exactly done, it's I think beyond us. But from what I know, it's like a mix of a lot of images out there that are essentially either public, essentially that's shared online. You use that to kind of put it together. Yeah, pretty interesting. And again, the it's not about what, okay, well, this wasn't really that impressive because it's not really exactly holding the balloon or the hand is here. It's not about that, because that's just the fact that you can just give me this now. Right now we're like late May in 2023, but the fact how this technology, it teaches itself and it constantly is getting improved on a daily basis. That's where it's kind of mind blowing. Is okay, that's how good it is now, but imagine a couple of months, how much better is it? And then in a couple of months after that, and a year, 5 years later, it's going to be able to create videos. Obviously, already there's audio that you're able to essentially, if you there's a lot of products where you can give this AI program like a 3-minute recording of your voice, then it's able to basically duplicate your voice, which sounds pretty crazy because it could be used against us. But just what it's capable of is just mind blowing, essentially. So
Right. So
yeah,
I've heard where you could ask ChatGPT to take, I think someone interviewed Norman Lear, who did All in the Family, and said, now create a new script of what Carol O'Connor would say, in this day and age, and use his image, use his voice, and create a video. Is that something that you could show us how to do? How do you make a video?
Video, it's not as robust at this point. A lot of it right now it's textual is number one, then visual, then audio, and then video, not so much. We're like probably a couple of months away from us getting like probably smaller, like short clips to be made automatically.
So right now you could get an image, you could write the script, and you could do the audio.
Correct.
Wow.
For most of us, 80% of it is going to be the text. So any text, and again, if any text could be created, that also means, sorry to put it out there, a lot of transactional lawyers are at risk when it comes to any kind of drafting, any kind of filings. And we could discuss this and talk about the implications of this maybe towards the end. But it is going to be disrupted. And again, it's important to not be scared of it, but instead try to understand it, try to learn how to use it, try to sign up for these programs so you can actually use it to your advantage, and again, ride the wave with it as it's going to happen. There's nothing to be done about it. I think it's just it's already been, the toothpaste has already left the bag basically, and it's going to happen. So yeah.
If I could just interrupt now and give everyone the CLE code, it's 953A. 953A.
Nice, and I put it in the chat too. Cool. So the results are magic, and you're able to create very unique images for social media posts, Facebook ads, or just this. At this point, I think entertaining your family and friends is probably the cooler part of those. And then other things. Again, I mentioned these. Just know that these things do exist, and a lot of these tools are kind of like in like a building stage. And most of these kind of like have wait list, essentially, just for you to go in there, just put your email address so that when they do release it, you're able to at least, get on it early. There's case texts, which apparently, again, a lot of these are just promises of things that they're working on, not necessarily released yet. Some of them are released. So case text lets you find cases and check for missing cases. Spellbook helps you draft contracts and review contracts, which I probably don't need. I'll probably just use ChatGPT for that. There's legal demands, which is not released yet, which lets you import medical documents, police reports, bills, and expenses to generate high quality demand letters generated from samples provided to you to ensure personalization. I could probably already do this in ChatGPT. I don't need this. LawDroid, supposed AI legal assistant to research legal issues, draft emails and letters, and summarize documents. Legalese, AI for discovery and contract review. Demand letters. There's a really big one, very promising one called Harvey that you'll probably be hearing about in the next couple of months. Got a huge funding from one of the from OpenAI, which is like the biggest AI company in the world, and LexCheck and a lot of other stuff. Again, this is all in here for you on page 13. Check it out and click on it, and register for it so you get on the wait list. And then there's a lot of other stuff. Again, I'm not going to go through it. Just know that it exists. It's here when it comes to content creation. When it comes to image generators that we just talked about, audio generators, video editing, presentations, even your scheduling. It's pretty cool. Imagine if you have a chaotic schedule, you sign up for this, it's able to kind of categorize. Let's just say you want to say, I only want to have team meetings on Mondays, and I want to have meetings with my prospects on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then I want to just take time off on Thursday, and it's able to go automatically shuffle your schedule around for that. It's pretty cool. Building websites, Google Sheets. There's a lot of Google Sheets stuff that which Google is releasing natively in the next couple of weeks. Books. That's something that I'm going to be exploring literally today. I'm going to be potentially writing my first AI book. Yeah, that's that. A lot of other stuff, and again, a lot more there. But I think there's even best, probably the best part. Now, so let me get on camera to talk about this. So this is all cool and all, but how can AI help us run our law firms? So again, instead of My Legal Academy, we're a mastermind kind of community. We're constantly learning, sharing, implementing these things. And we started on this AI, like literally as soon as it came out. So in November, we're already talking about ChatGPT, and we already went through all this stuff. But a couple of months ago, I started asking our community, saying, hey, what are the biggest pain points that we have? And how can we come up with ways for AI to be able to solve these problems? So we started, kind of incubating ideas, and we kind of created these groups of incubation inside of our community to go tackle this one main problem that we have inside of our law firms. And these are the problems that we try to tackle. Number one was signing up clients. Okay, signing up clients. Imagine you have all these leads. How to get them signed up? Okay, that's one value proposition. Imagine if AI could sign up clients for you? Sounds like a pretty crazy value proposition. Number two is customer service for our law firms. Okay, customer service for our law firms. That means our clients or even prospects who have questions about law firms. Why do they have to call in and email me the questions? Why can't we just have AI answer those questions for them? It's a pretty cool value proposition. And third is obviously the thing, drafting documents and filings. Okay, so signing up clients, customer service, drafting stuff. But good news is we've been able to work on all three of these inside of our community. And I'm going to show you, it's the first time it's actually shared. So the first one I kind of took over, signing up clients. And the reason why I wanted to work on signing up clients one is the one that I'm kind of most focused on myself when it comes to my law firms. I generate a lot of leads, thousands of leads, almost 1,000 leads per day. And I have to get them signed up. And that is the hard part. I think that generating the leads is the easy part, and getting them signed up is the hard part. So I'm like, what if AI could solve this? So I started working on it, and I'm going to show you the end result. And this is already built. So what you're about to see is real. And yeah, let me show you what that looks like. So imagine a lead comes in. That means you have their name, email, phone number. And the problem that we always had was to get in contact with the leads. Okay. Oh, that was always the first main issue. So getting in contact with them, that means get them to actually respond, essentially. Second is we need to qualify them to make sure we can actually help them. A third, we need to get them to actually go sign their retainer agreement. Well, what if this AI could go text our leads to right away, get in contact with them, qualify them, and get them signed up? And what you're seeing on the screen is actual real. It's my own screenshot. And one of my biggest law firms is For Lemon Law. So the lead came in and says, hi there. Well, actually, it usually has the name there. But because I guess, yeah, I was testing it and didn't get it. Anyways, hi there. This is Sam from Lemon Law Assist. We helped 2018 to 2023 car owners get paid for their defective car. To get started, would you mind sharing what car issue are you having? Transmission, engine, electrical, brake, or other issue? This is AI. This is me. So I say transmission. This is I see. How many times have you taken your car for repair? Twice. Okay. And what year is your car? 2020. So great. Congratulations. It looks like you qualify for Lemon Law Assistance. Here's the retainer agreement. Take a look. And once you're ready, pretty much sign it. We're able to kind of take this idea. Again, this was like the short variations of this. Right now, literally, as I'm doing, and I spend daily hours, like 2 hours per day working on this to optimize this whole process, to basically literally go and text the leads and get them signed up. The good part is I have a law firm that generates enough leads for me to be able to test this. And also already have a baseline of what percentage our intakers sign up of our qualified leads. So literally in the next week or two, I'm about to go put this up as a test to go up against my intakers and see who will win. And if this intake AI, and it's called intake AI, by the way, if this intake AI gets anywhere close to the same conversion rate as my intakers, then it's game over. Game over. Not only will I be sitting on like one of the most valuable things that lawyers can use and for their law firms, but also it will alleviate a lot of the pain points that we all have. Again, getting in contact with the leads, managing your intakers, getting them to actually follow up, getting them to actually be successful with getting clients signed up will be over. So good news is, again, this is I'm probably a couple of weeks away. I already tested out for myself. It works for me. But right now what I'm doing is building this out on how I can deploy this for like essentially hundreds of people to come in and start using the service. So if you want to be, if you're interested in this, let me know in the chat. If you want me to keep you in the loop, I'll try to get access to this chat. And I'll try to basically get your contact information. I'll keep you in the loop when I do release it. So let me know, just put intake AI in the chat if you are interested in this.
All right, there's also a question about
Yep.
the ethics of it. Here, take a look at the question.
Sure. Let's take a look. Which question? I don't see anything. I think everything has already been answered. Okay.
Wait, Shannon has a question. Wait, I just lost it. Am I muted?
No, can hear you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Here, it says, wait, I just lost it. Is it ethical to have AI vet clients and send retainer agreements without an actual practicing attorney reviewing the facts first?
You are, good question. These act as your agents. So yeah, I have to kind of explore that kind of further before I kind of give my clear answer. They act as your agents and you still have access to these things and you're able to come in at any point. So I know I have to kind of explore that, but the way to kind of see it is they act as your agents. So I don't know. I have to I have to kind of look into it a little bit further.
Right, and someone gave you a great shout out that they love what you're doing. They realize you're under pressure in answering these questions, but of course they're asking the same kind of thing. Is it somehow false or misleading and that kind of thing?
Again, it could be as transparent as possible. It could also just say, hey, I'm an intake AI to see if you qualify. And again, a lot of these things have to be worked out, the kinks of it, but just again, the potential. And again, it's so early in this. And again, those things have to be kind of sorted out in the next couple of years. But it's still good kind of exploring. And again, it'll take some time for us to have a real clear answer. It'll be some time. I think
You got a lot of people signing up. So I'm wondering if Cindy, if you could just save the chat box and then we'll send the whole list to Sam. Is that easy to do?
No, actually, Karen, what I'll do is I'll pull the logon list and everybody's email will be there. It'll be
great. So do that and send that. That would be great. So then everyone will be on the list. Perfect.
Great.
Yeah,
Smart
it's
idea.
kind of, again, I look at the potential and I I have to clear it out. I have to clear it out, I guess. But yeah.
This is great.
Yeah, it's able to kind of, again, it's based on your parameters that you create, what qualifies, what doesn't. And when you, again, it's debatable on how state bar and stuff is going to take it. But the way that I see it, again, is this is actually good for the market because ultimately, if the law firm is not really good at picking up the phone call, answering questions, if I'm able to give it the answers that I want the intake AI to answer, I'm able to actually serve my market better, much more quickly, much more efficiently, instead of this this volleyball game, like, let me call you back, when is a good time, all that stuff. If our entire point of our law firm is to help people that we can actually help, then if the system allows me to do that, then I'm all for that. So yeah, will there be somebody who can oppose me and say, oh, this could be a thing? Sure, but I would like to kind of oppose this other side and actually talk about the public policy that comes behind it. And no, this actually is good for us helping more of our clients, and it streamlines in and becomes more efficient, and even could be more better at doing what we do at this point. So
I love it. And by the way, you're getting, again, great kudos in the chat box. And someone says that one of the ethics committees are going to be discussing this in September. I don't know if that's the Nassau Bar or the Suffolk Bar. Someone could tell me where it is, but that we'll be addressing these ethical issues.
Yeah,
Nassau,
interesting.
the
I would
Nassau
love to be
Bar.
able to join
That's
it.
great.
And yeah. Or maybe I'll be a proponent to kind of give my reasons why I think I see it as better. And again, I always see the potential with things. I always see the positive side of things. And I guess I get more well-rounded when somebody comes and says, well, what about these considerations? And I think when we kind of join forces together, then we will come up with a more better answer.
And we're looking to get the same program, it looks like, for Suffolk as well. Great, great.
Yeah.
So this was really phenomenal.
Yeah, thank you. I've if you don't mind, I'm gonna,
amazing.
yeah, two more.
Go ahead. I mean,
so
I'm staying on. Anyone else could stay on. They already have the code.
And amazing. And I love first of all, I appreciate the positivity and stuff that they're coming my way and all the everybody that showed the
Yes,
interest.
someone is saying it's too short of a program, right? We needed more time. Well, we
No,
can
for
have you
sure.
back again. We can have it back if there's more to do.
For sure. So
It says this program required 2 hours, exactly.
yeah, and I'm kind of going through it and trying to give you a little taste of what's possible. And then obviously it requires more exploring and actually, putting it to use.
Wait,
So
someone wants me to just repeat the code. Let me just give that 953A for both CPE and CLE. 953A. They don't love that you type it in, just so you know, Sam.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Something doesn't mind, but I think Nassau minds.
I always try to make people's lives easier. I guess.
You're good. Don't worry about it. We'll make an exception this time.
Sorry about that. Second is, so first one is signing up clients. The second one is customer service for our clients. Again, look at the potential and then we'll talk about the legal implications later. Well, what if, again, let me give you the valid proposition is our clients or prospects who have questions about different things about our law firm. Well, I don't have to get there. I don't have to have somebody answering the same questions over and over. What if I create a database of my answers along with the questions that people ask, and anybody can go and ask the questions, and these answers are only from me. So that means it's not going to use ChatGPT to come up with like this hallucinated answer. It's only going to give the clear answers that I need. So in order for me to test this out, instead, what I did was, well, in the past 3.5 years, I've been going around daily, weekly, sharing a lot of information about marketing, client generation, funnels, automations, virtual assistants, AI stuff, and a lot of things in between. So I went and took all my resources, which is a lot of my Google Docs templates and Google Sheets and some of even my transcripts of my videos as I'm talking this out. And I basically fed this machine all the knowledge that I basically put out there. And I was able to put this together. This is called, right now, this is kind of like a little experiment. It's kind of like, again, the whole point of it is kind of to experiment, if I could do the same thing for law firms, but instead I built it off my own specialized knowledge that I've been sharing, which is called My Legal Guru. So imagine you have me at your disposal 24/7. You can ask me anything you would like, and I'll put the link to that. Again, experimental. Just literally I haven't shared this publicly at all. I haven't even shared it in my own community, but feel free if you want to test it out. And it's still also being obviously revised and optimized, but let's ask it some kind of question that's kind of related to marketing, client generation thing. So let's put one. So I'm going to ask it, what's the best funnel for estate planning? And what should I include in my funnel to help me get estate planning clients in New York? And this little cool technology has two different settings. One is just, it could go based on only the data that I gave it. So it sticks to just the data. So if that might be the safer route. Let's only use the information that I give it. So I control that, whatever information I give. Also, the second setting is take my information and mix it in with ChatGPT, which obviously now kind of exposes you to, now you don't really control the answer. It's kind of risky, but for the sake of this, then I basically use the first setting. So let's take a look. For estate planning, the best funnel will be high ticket funnel 5.0. If you're inside my program, you know exactly what that is, which is that's the clear answer, which it is. Nobody has to figure it out. They already know what that is. This funnel nurtures your potential clients with a mini video to get bookings. To help you get estate planning clients in New York, include educational content and the mini video that addresses the problems your potential clients may face and how your services may help them. Very simple answer, but that's all based on kind of like the data that I give it. What if over time I start building out a lot more about this information? And what I'm doing right now is I'm taking all my videos, and again, this is like probably over 500 videos of over 2 hours long of me giving information. So where somebody asked me, hey, for estate planning, well, what's working? And I kind of give those answers. It's able to go through all those videos, all my resources, and able to compile that together and kind of give the answer. Now, what does that mean for you is, well, what if you use the same technology to kind of create a Q&A and actually use ChatGPT to be able to create this Q&A for one of my law firms? I'll show you the Q&A right now. And this is how I did it. I think, actually, I don't have too much time, but let me just show you the end product. I literally use ChatGPT to say, you're a lemon law lawyer expert in California. Yeah, here's some questions that I already know that a lot of people ask. Give me 10 more and put them in the order of most frequently asked along with the answers. So it was able to create me a very nice optimized Q&A for my law firm. I could give that to this customer service tool. And now if anybody has any of those particular questions, well, you don't need to call my office or whatever. I could say, hey, go here, get your questions answered. And over time, I'll also give call to actions. Well, if somebody's asking a question about my law firm, also get them scheduled. So maybe the AI could say, okay, well, here's your answer. If you have further questions, go book a call here or to give us a call here, etc. Again, the potential is kind of huge with that. So that is the customer service one, Call My Legal Guru. Again, it's complete startup, kind of testing it out. And the last one is drafting documents and filings. That one, I shared it. One of our members who's very technical went and built out a complete package of drafting. I believe he did it for probate. It was a probate filing. Was able to essentially just from the client answering and some intake questions, the entire probate filing was able to be drafted completely. So that means it knew from the client's answers exactly which county they're in, depending on which county and the answers, which exact filing that is. Based on that, go draft that specific probate filing, prepare for you and super optimized. And again, it's not the final product, then at least you get a 90% draft version that you're able to review, make whatever tweaks you want. And now you literally essentially saved 3-4 hours of some lawyers' time to kind of do this. And that's possible. Again, that's been shared inside of our little community. And now we're trying to figure out how can we do this for estate planning and bankruptcy and a lot of other things.
All right, this was so wonderful. I'm already getting requests for a part 2. And there are questions in the chat box and in the Q&A if you could just go to them.
Sure, let's take a look.
Somebody who's on the phone wants us to email them the links, which I believe all the materials were originally sent out and they have the links, but if there's anything new and different.
Yeah. The ChatGPT book was updated. So that one, if I'll share that, and then the intake AI, as long as I kind of know who's interested. That way.
Okay. Also, it says Cindy wrote that if you write to her, Cynthia@scba.org, she'll send you whatever you want.
Sure.
And let's see, we were talking about the ethics piece. The Nassau County Bar Association is having that on June 7th, ethics and AI. So you could sign up for that. And then Howard Brill has a question in the Q&A if you want to look at that.
Take a look. Yeah. Can ChatGPT provide a good plea? Before I even read it, I'm like, yes. In a criminal case or settlement in a civil case after providing chat with the specific of each case without revealing confidential information. Absolutely. Absolutely. The answer is absolutely. But the best part is, and I could kind of get into the how-tos later. Again, it requires more time to explain it, but I could take your client's intake information and just go automatically to drafting it very easily. It's done with Zapier and a form builder. But yeah, totally. Essentially any drafting, as long as you have some kind of input of data, usually coming directly either from your client, ideally, or coming from you, then the rest, auto draft, anything you could possibly think about.
Sam,
All right.
Fantastic. We really could use like another how-to. If you would like to consider that.
I will do my best. The best is, I know, first of all, amazing that you have so many people here that are so engaged, which is super amazing. If you don't mind, let me share my resources and things. I have a YouTube channel that I share a lot of these things. So I'll put the link in the chat. Subscribe there. There's also we have a Facebook group called My Legal Academy that you could join. I'm sharing these things on a daily basis, and I have been for the past 3 years. And again, it's probably your first time being exposed to what I do, but this is what I love. This is what I enjoy. This is what I know best. Thank God my law firms are doing their thing. They're generating me, income. This is like my passion project, what I enjoy doing and what I love talking about. So just follow the journey with me, follow me. And if you're like kind of want to explore deeper, then My Legal Academy is the perfect place to do it. It's on a much higher level. These are just kind of teasing to it, and we get people to apply these things, and we provide anything that we built in our community gets shared with everybody too. It's like a complete win-win-win, give kind of place. It's pretty cool. So yeah.
But Sam, you and I could talk offline if we want to do a second session, but this was wonderful. We had at one point 73 people, which is great. Lots of questions. Everyone was engaged. You were phenomenal, giving us unbelievable details and showing us. I mean, just to see it in real time is crazy good. Yeah, it's a great class. Everyone's enjoying it.
Appreciate
it.
I
thank you. I thank you so much. You have a recording. We have a recording. If anybody else wants a copy of it, you'll write to us. Here, amazing, Sam. Everybody's saying great things.
Appreciate
Excellent class. 6 out of 5 stars.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy your Wednesday. Take it easy. And
all right.
Hopefully I'll see you guys soon.
We'll talk to you soon. Take care.